Flying this holiday season, you'll want to listen very closely to this next story.
That's right. Chances are extremely slim you will ever be in a plane that is in an accident. But if you are, you should be prepared.
Tonight, Mary Shalvarjian looks at things that you can do to get out of alive and the people who are there to help you.
Jesse, the best rule of thumb in a plane accident is to plan to save your own life. Know a few basic things, because frankly, the flight attendants on board are very well trained, but they can't save everybody. In fact, they're so well trained, this video we're about to show you should dispel any notions you might still have that flight attendants are glorified waiters.
Release seatbelts and get out! Release seatbelts and get out!
Fire in that lavatory. You tell the captain. You get me an extra halon fire extinguisher.
You cannot be a flight attendant just by being young and attractive. There's a certain amount of aptitude tests that must be passed. There's a battery of interviews that must be passed.
You'll see these new U.S. Air flight attendants on your flight soon. They're in the middle of intensive training now. 2/3 of that is emergency procedures. Here in Pittsburgh, each is taught to walk the fine line of a courteous host or hostess who can become a forceful decision maker handling a life or death situation. For instance, this realistic drill. This is the kind of situation you could find yourself in during an emergency landing with about 20 minutes warning.
We are going to move some of you to other seats to place able-bodied passengers where they can be of maximum assistance in the event of an evacuation. Please remove your emergency card from the seat pocket in front of you and visually locate all exits noted on the card. Look into the eyes of the person next to you. This is your buddy. Be ready to help each other. After you have evacuated, assemble in a group, a safe distance away from the aircraft, then sit down.
Face the rear of the aircraft. Put your aisle hand on the top and hold. Put your other hand in the bottom and hold like this.
So you're going to directly right across the end.
Follow me?
This drill ends with a complete evacuation of the plane, out an emergency exit over the wing. While attendants are fully prepared for emergencies, they can't be everywhere at once. Ultimately, you'll have to save yourself. Chances are, you don't know how to do that. You should think about survival before you even leave home. Wear comfortable clothes you can maneuver in easily. White cotton or wool if possible. It can be seen better at night and it won't melt to your body in extreme heat. And women, no high heels. You can trip, twist, or break an ankle on the way to an emergency exit, snag the shoes on a slide, hurt yourself, and impede others. Try to keep carry-ons to one bag stowed under the seat, even though you can bring two.
My crash situation was that the bags were flying everywhere, and they probably resulted in injuries.
Once on the plane, listen to the flight attendant's instructions.
Generally, 90% of the passengers never pay attention and never pick up an emergency evacuation card.
That card has directions to the nearest exit. Look around to find yours and count the number of seats to it, because smoke may be too intense for you to see. And don't forget, the nearest exit may be behind you. The emergency card will also show you how to operate the doors. If you travel a lot, you should still know this. They can be very different on each plane. And when a flight attendant tells you to keep your seatbelt on, do it, especially during turbulence.
A lot of head injury, a lot of bone injuries from people standing up and breaking arms and ears. If they listen to the flight attendants, though, it wouldn't happen.
If you do find yourself in an accident, don't freeze. If there's a flight attendant around, follow directions. And if not, identify the nearest way out of the plane. Stay low if there's smoke. Toxic smoke can kill in seconds. Get out of the plane any way possible and get far away. Debris may still be flying. Fuel tanks could explode. Finally, travelers are always curious about the safest place to sit. You won't like the answer.
I would tell you the best place to sit, obviously, in the aircraft is as far away from the impact point as possible. Now, I can't say that you can predict where the aircraft's going to impact or how it's going to impact.
Now, some people have told us, given the choice of seats, you might want to choose an aisle seat simply because in an accident that gives you more options of places to move. Tom, Jesse?
All right,
Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Very helpful.
Still ahead, your chance.